Maikala inpo wonse mkwai pa bushikubwa Easter lelo. Uh, I have been reflecting on where we are, where we have come from. Why where we are is happening the way it is. And why the country is the way it is today. First of all, there is nothing that happens without a history. We have a recent history of where we have come from. That's where I want to start from. Where we have come from a situation and a regime of looters, thieves, pompous leaders, selfish leaders, bakabolala, and openly so, they actually said they should be able to steal. And we had our leader, our beloved leader, who told them to say, look, so that was an open license to steal. So it is not amazing that just young, small, little girls are found with monies over 60 million kwacha. How some of those monies could even have been dropping down to the entrepreneurs in the street, life could not have been the same. But these chaps were damn selfish. And what brought PF down was violence, selfishness, na bukabolala, laced with cadarism. Now, because of where we have come from, it gave rise to where we are now. We are not where we are by accident. We are where we are because of the bad history. It's like people that have come from genocide. Even if they starve 1-2 days, it's going to be okay. It's like a wife who has been who the husband has been beating every other day. Namasauchas, alemfumia meno, alemvike fironda mutwe, ukumfumia menso. Such kind of a wife. One day will simply say, "Nangfeni kuri kamalasha kutina ya upo mkwai." Ichi anda chino kabulonga chius manomba na chula pafula. That is where the Zambian came from. In August 12th August 2021. They had many lies by the UPND. They had a lot of doubts concerning their ethics as a people. Even though for more than 5 times the country has been saying no to them, it just finally arrived that look, let's just try. He will come and fix it. And the UPND told so many lies. Despite the UPND telling so many lies, and people have now come to realize that look, vale tuvepa menzo tunyenga wenye vakutupata makamba. Still, today, I have asked both the leftists and the rightists, both from the green and from the red, and even just the ordinary Zambians. And I'm speaking as an independent nationalist. As you know, me as Emmanuel Chilekwa, I speak what I see. I don't side with anyone. I speak about an issue. Okay, even if you're my friend, if the issue is against you, I'll speak against it. Against you. So, uko tuafuma. Kwalenga okutera twise tufike nomba muno mu muliro. Abantu balechola. Emirire na ishupa nomba. People literally don't know what to do next. The cause of all this nonsense is PF. Eva tulengo okutera nomba tuve mu muliro because people are suffering. Everything bad that you talked about is happening. Except we have a semblance of peace. We do not have cadres at markets trying to, of course they are there, but they are hiding. It's not the way it used to be. Where wakada na bafwala na fya soldier. True militia. Now, I'm posting a video of a UPND official just opposite Cabinet Office, facing the barrel of a gun. This is in Zambia, broad daylight. And this was under the leadership, tutorship, mentorship of Honorable Kampyongo. He was the Home Affairs Minister. And he allowed this nonsense to continue in our country. This is why when you see Zambians, okay, we are going through pain. But when we see where we came from, we are saying, anyway, nanguture chura nensala, chidi fie pantu tulikono mtende. Can you see where PF has brought us? These things, intungurusha PF vale sheva. Va freedom skazo bantu vaishive. Va kampiongo bantu vaishive. Va kanganja bantu vaishive. There is nobody who didn't know about all this. Even Waluinda want to achieve. But you see, the arrogance of the PF leadership it was just overboard. I don't know why. I don't think that if Vasatawe never part and get providing, nonsense. Muchalo mumuabo. 2 kilometers from State House, a police officer pointing a gun to an unarmed citizen. Trust me, yes, PF lost, but at least peace gained. But then, even though peace gained, starvation has increased. There are more people now suffering as a result of UPND governing. Yes, there was infrastructure, massive infrastructure, but why UPND now feel like monomuti? But syringes. And people are saying it is still okay. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine where we've come from? Can you imagine the pain inflicted on the Zambians? The Zambians today are regretting, but at the end of the day, nangu bashita regret vital, but kwena nangu ture chura nensare ifiko eno mutendere na tukwata. You see? That's how they are justifying. In short, that's why I put up like a small write-up to say the West is better. Abantu wale chula, admittedly so. Imitengona ya pamulu, admittedly so. UPND has got no vision of where to take this country. They've got no plan. But you see, people are still accepting this bad husband. They're still accepting. To say, yo mkwai, na ngufeni kamarasha, it's okay, kutina ikarafinufi. Kai tare mpuma, tare nsokola meno. That's where we came from with PF. That's where PF brought us. So, ububu joshi ture chola at the hands of UPND. Nganwa PF, I think, out of moral ground, let them not even complain. And trust me, even if whatever, I think it is justifiable. Because nachiposta poka video kamo ako former minister wale anduktrati 2 million kwacha is pocket change. And so when some of these guys are beginning to be investigated, let's not just simply say, no, UPND is terrorizing people. Let's just be nationalists. PF made their errors. Even UPND is making their errors. Okay? Bukawala waba PF, na UPND nobody. But you see, they're in the saddle. Their time is going to come for them to account for their mess. But the moot point of this afternoon's discussion is that the dictatorial tendencies that the PF had, even the way you actually forked out people that wanted to contest the presidency, is what has brought us to where we are today. Can you imagine under Justice Minister Given Luvinda, Honorable Given Luvinda, hard-working minister, tough-talking minister, he brought this stupid bill called Bill 10. I, for one, never stood for it. I disagreed with it. And some of the components that made me to disagree with it were that after elections, that Bill 10 was going to create, is it a no petition position? You understand that? Basically bastardizing and traversing the constitution. Those clauses made me not to go for butane. Ba PF balia sana. Elio ubuchushi mwatuposa mwa PF for us to be where we are. Under this directionless government of the UPND, which does not have a solution for this country. Everything to them is very difficult. It's because of PF. So ba PF mwilalira nga chakutira ati ba UPND bamikata bamisecha. Please, that is even better. At least I will miss on time futi kumutwe. If you mwale son taba neno. Because there is still Inspector General of Police here. We still have. And there are still policemen with guns. But they are not pointing them to your head. That's the extent to which you brought this country down. And as much as we appreciate a lot of things, infrastructure development, it was very good. But of course, that is where you are even looting some of the money. Just like this government, we are seeing utuma receipts uturechta fly in the night. Umuntu achta blow 120,000 kwacha ku night club cha whatever. And yet we're from power for 8 months. Number if they go for 2-3 years, the same mess that the PF used to do, they'll be doing it. Because at least PF started in the 7th or 6th year. Less than 1 year, we are seeing what they're doing. By that as soon as we come into power, Forest 27 is going to go down. So, back to the point. Yes, there is immense suffering. I don't like it. And I know for sure that this UPND government is taking us nowhere. But the architects of the mess we are in here is PF. They are the architects. If only ngabale mfako kutia tukusunga abantu. Umuntu abakwati ni mbwa. Ukuteke mbwa mano ngakula mano yaya. That's why the people ran away. More than 1 million plus people simply say away. PF nalali natoshe kobambi. But the solution that we still have is not a solution at all. This UPND government is going to be the worst government in the history of this country because it doesn't give a damn to the Zambian suffering. This is a foreign appetizing government that we have. It's a government that listens to the puppetry of the West. That's what it is. You've seen the battles that are going there in the mines. Because they would like to give the mines to their friends in the West. Maybe I was supported during my campaigns. This government is very, very learned, but it does not have practical solutions. And they are talking a lot. Yo, as we are the best, as we are doing the best thing, as we are. Have you ever seen things like that? Just look at the last election. The last election. By-elections. They are doing the same nonsense PF used to do. They have learned the art. They have learned the art of electro theft. They have learned it. But I hope they can begin to deliver. That's my prayer. Because if they fail, we will have failed as Zambians. But so far, they've got no plan. Nichimbu no plan in government. They're taking us nowhere. Even the press singers aba mkwaya UPND nabesho kutatulukta pali uko toleya. Ero balelira. At least if we have voted PF, we are justified because we know that, look, for me, I didn't even believe in UPND right from the way it go. Because first of all, their manifesto is fake. They plagiarized and they stood for literally nothing. There is nothing that, I mean, the only word that you can pick up is he'll fix it. He never explained how. It's just as bad as those promises where we were told by Kaunda to say, when UNIP comes into power, you shall be eating an egg a day. And of course, PF also gave its own version of lies. The 90-day deadline, which never came to be. But our politicians are damn liars. These political parties, most of the times, they come to us with lies. I think it is now time that we started challenging them. The only one who is beginning to come out with a difference is only Zambia Must Prosper under KBF, because KBF prepared his thoughts way before now. Maybe if KBF had taken over the reign in PF, maybe PF could have survived and things would have changed a little bit. We could not have been where we are right now. And this is why you have seen by UPND now, they're focusing on their alliance partner, KBF. But still, because Zambians now know the truth to say uyu muntu alela ndefu ya bufi, uyu muntu omfuire fya majelas na ngwa kalijo. But UPND government is not taking us anywhere. It doesn't matter what you feel, but I'm speaking my mind. This government is taking us nowhere because they've got no plan of resuscitating this economy. They don't know where to start from. They don't know where to end. They are now confused. The more days they stay in power, the more confused they become. Listen to the statements. The presidential spokesperson will be saying this. Vana Rumango Parliament will say something else. The president will say this. The Minister of Finance will say this. It's a disjointed government. They don't stand at one common ground. So, what I wanted to address is the issue of the PF crying. But PF, God help you. They've got nothing to fear. Certainly, you have not even explained how the Karitu girl ended up with 65 million kwacha. You have not explained. Ngakuiva tukuchita brand truthfully. Come out with the truth. Come and confess. Echo wakatolika wakwatira ichirapiro. Come and confess. Mulapiro kutira tiyo mkwai. Ifi effort wachitire shirendera mashiria aba tupere niawa. Edio tuaperio. You know, come and confess. How do you repent hiding some sins? It's not possible. So this rebranding, if it has to be serious, please be truthful. But imwe batwere butane ku parliament. Imwe barechita manage bakapokola ukutira ati barechita terrorize abantu. See just what you did to your fellow citizen when you went in the night and raided Akainde's his house. Mwanyera muno kunyera munganda mwaka. Pama bed nefya kulya mwalia. You see, the Bible says, time and chance happens for all. Even I, for one, I never knew that Hakainde would come and be president. I ruled him out. But you see, I'm not God. Lesson Mario Tola. Ako sulire ko panoko. Nendi muvembai. Hakainde twali musula. Aisa upazambia. And you see, to a certain extent, let's give him a bit of kudos. Trust me. Ngani never mwaingisha 127 days. Ero naisa abamupawa. The first 72 hours kwena kutumwa ikatire chingo kwa kaba. But in America kuna 8 months mulirira no kuirira. No kuponta mule ponta. What kind of pomposity and arrogance is this? This is the time to be humble. This is the time to repent. This is the time to rebrand. You come back to the nation and say, "Vaneni kwena twaliru fyanya twerere niko." Not repentance mnachita yavufi. Come and review to us the exact thing about the looting of the country, because this country is rich. Why are we this poor? So na vaneno vanomba vata mpokuiva vale konkesha muri imwe. Pantu vaneno vale Dr. Tiyo ife tokese chitefima GX. Na mumfoiria shit. I don't need to go into details. No, we are going to make a Zambian very important. Now, when Zafiko is able to supply the pause, touch. The same things that you PF the same issues we are dealing with land. Mukula land copper. It is unknown. But some of your friends, they've started copying also. Because a normal government could not allow only foreign companies to supply pores, which we grow on the Copper Belt from Zafiko. And Zafiko has said that we can supply. Napongan 24,000 logs there, cured. And Zafiko has bought, they have a kiln, which cures instead of drying them in the sun because the sun takes too long for these logs to be cured. But this foreign subservient, leadership, but if I find foreigners, Zimbabweans, South Africans, and so forth. You cannot justify a locally based leadership to disadvantage Zambians. At least va PF nangu at least va itile kwa radio kutirati 20% ama road contracts yama Zambians. This government was going to say no one in block making, no one in carpentry, no one in ceramics, no one, only these reserve certain sectors for Zambians. They are Z because they are parrots of foreigners. This is what is going to eat our country. Because in Tungurushe Susho Tukwet, they don't believe in Zambians' initiative. Trust me. See how many Zambians have been at cooperative registration. It was scattered, Pongos used to say. Tapali napa kunyanta. Palancha bantu bali kalamalain. Just to register cooperatives. Go to Pakra, the same thing. But even that 25.7 million kwacha constituency development fund cannot answer to all the callings. No, it can't. It can't even do roads in a constituency. Because 25 million kwacha is less than 3 kilometers of road. If I'm not mistaken, it's under 5 kilometers. So if a constituency has to do the roads, then what will happen to the handicapped? What will happen to the women? What about the youth? There will be nothing left. So this 25 million kwacha still, yes, it sounds big money, but it's still a drop in the ocean. It won't do anything. In terms of allocation. So, but PF, God gave you the time to mess up. You messed up. Be available to answer to this cause. Properties. Let it be if you can't defend yourself. Okay? Let us be fair to one another. You had the time, we used to tell you, arrogance, do not bastardize the constitution. You dragged using the arrogance of numbers, Butane, until somehow it fell. So, you laid your bed of thorns. Why don't you lie in it? And I'm sure you should at some point even, say thank you to the UPND government. They are restraining or they are applying restraint. But how long they're going to do that, I don't know. So, some of you who are boasting to say, what is 2 million kwacha? 2 million kwacha is pocket change. Hey, go and buy a house today. Because 2 million kwacha, you can buy a house in Kablonga just one time. So, don't even cry to say, I don't have a house. 2 million kwacha is pocket change. So, use some money now to go and buy another house. Buy 2, 3, 4, 5 houses. It's not a problem. But me, I don't believe in corruption, and I hate corruption. Anybody who is corrupt, whether I hate it because I know the effects of corruption. So when you don't say that you, he is now hitting at PF. I love you guys. Much of my life in the recent past, it has always been green. Although I now believe in the true green, who is basically KBF. There is a new political party now. Zambia must prosper. At least it is a new breeze. It gives new hope. And I'm sure there will be new, fresh people. Not recycling same people every other minute. Mwatira rebranding, but you're still rebranding with the same criminals, with the same thieves. with the same corrupt people, with the same undemocratic people, with the same people that cause the police to be pointing a gun at an armed person. Believe you me, to a certain extent, maybe God gave us UPND just for peace, not development. Just like Kaunda was given to us for education. Yeah? Because we went through school without paying Engwe. Chilekwa was given to us because, democracy and transport. To date, imetoka Shirole life. But before that time, we were queuing, sleeping Pake MB for 2 weeks for you to come to the Copper Belt, for you to go to Kawambu. So every leadership has got a reason. For UPND, maybe its main delivery that God may have wanted them to do is just to come and bring some semblance of peace. That's all. That's why they are failing. Economy. They've got no idea. Anyway, I rest my case. Chilekwa Emmanuel here, signing off. Thank you. Enjoy your Easter.